Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video I'm just going to go through my current World Arena defensive setup for Master and below. So I'm currently rank Master 1, which means that the next time I win effectively, I'll go up to the Challenger tier, which means that I will have to build 7 teams, and that video will come out over the course of the next couple of days as well when I do reach that Master tier. And I'll go through the full 7 teams that I'm running at that time. For now, it's just 5 teams, so I have had to cut one particular team. I know. I really wanted to use Valianters, but the strongest 5 teams do not include Valianters, in my opinion. Anyway, out of the 6 faction synergies, the strongest teams are Mystifiers, Ezreals, Glorians, Avengers, and Dooms. Now, by far the strongest PvP unit in the game, Aphrodite. If you do want to win your PvP matches, you do need to get a 7-star Aphrodite. No two ways about it. She is the strongest PvP unit in the game. So much so that despite how high of a level that I get myself to, my team still lose to Aphrodite. Even an enemy Aphrodite on a Dooms team, something like that, it's gross. Like it is like she by herself allowed me to beat Avi. I don't know if any of you know who Avi is, but he was the strongest in my server. He was the strongest in my war zone, and he was the strongest in World Arena, the very first World Arena. That is why we have this particular skin for Catherine. As you can see, you've got AD, which was his guild, printed all over. You've got the necklace, you've got the headband up here, and then on the thigh down here you've got the symbol as well. So yeah, that he is the reason for that skin and why all of those letters are there on that particular skin, because he won World Arena, the very first World Arena. He got to collab with the devs, but when Aphrodite was introduced, I just put her randomly on one of my first teams, and I won, and I got to rank 1 in my YGG, which I'd never done before. And then lo and behold, about 2 or 3 weeks later, he did leave, unfortunately. Now, I'm not saying that I caused him to leave. What I am saying is that I think it was more to do with Aphrodite, if I'm honest. She is the strongest PvP unit by far, and she allows you to punch above your weight. Now, the other units on the team, I do have to notable mention. I do have Cleo in here primarily. Currently, she is down as a Phantom, just to be able to revive the entire team, but you can go with Monarch if you feel as though you are losing more defensive matches. You can go with Monarch as well, but I prefer Phantom just to bring my units back over and over again, and so I have more of a chance to bring Aphrodite back as well. So if Janet goes down, Althea or Cleopatra go down, I do have a chance to bring Aphrodite back. That is pretty much the sole reason that I run the Phantoms on this team. Now, I do have Mavis here to pair with Aphrodite. Both of these two, very, very strong units, really powerful together, good combo. Cleo is here primarily for the Holy Shield protection, for the Phantom synergy, and also for the increase in attack that she provides on rounds 2 and rounds 3. Janna here is for your longevity. Janna, every time a unit dies, she will gain shields, and then those shields will protect her until the end of the fight. Usually gets to round 10, round 11, something like that. And Janna is basically the sole survivor of the team, but she's doing more than enough damage to take out whoever's left on the enemy team. And Althea is here for her 7-star passive. Her 7-star passive says that if an Avenger were to go down, instead of waiting around to come back, they will come back immediately, which is, again, very, very strong in this particular team, especially on the Phantoms team as well. Now, relics, I've gone for Chest, I've gone for Magometer, and I've gone for the Hand of Tyr. Magometer is in here primarily for the additional damage that is done through the burn effect. Oftentimes I found myself lacking in damage with this team, not anymore. With Magometer on this team, it just it sends them to the next level, sends them to S tier or S plus tier, whatever you want to call it. They were S tier because of Aphrodite. Now they are S plus or whatever. Probably say this is one of the strongest single faction PvP teams in the game. And again, it is primarily because of Aphrodite. Now bear with me. Sorry about that. Just had something to deal with, so got that sorted out. This is the next team that I'm running. It is currently my Dooms team. I am running Victoria in this team. If you don't have Victoria, take her out and you pop Merlin in. The reason for that is you get the three Doom Monarchs. Very, very strong build. The reason that I'm running Victoria is because you do get the 3 Doom Monarchs, but also she heals. Something which is sorely lacking in the Dooms team. There is no unit on this team that heals. I'm even replacing Ophelia, who I would normally run in this particular spot, but there's just no healer. And Victoria on her ultimate and on her secondary does heal equal to the amount of damage done, I believe, is what she does, which is why I've gone with this team. Now, unfortunately, there is no... there's no Dooms, not Dooms, no Deviant synergy on here. We've only got Leviathan by herself, but Leviathan by herself is 100% worth it. I would run Leviathan every day of the week, and it's because of her passive ability. So she has the ability to reflect direct damage back to the source of the direct damage. So for example, if there is an enemy Audrey in slot 1, Audrey attacks all of your units in her first ultimate, then she has the chance to reflect all of that damage back to herself with Leviathan's passive on. Very, very strong. Bear with me. Sorry about that, just needed to sort something else out. Now, we do have Arthur. He is the rock that holds this team together. Again, usually he is the last one alive, and has played into how I've built my hope tree and also with the artifact that I'm using. So Arthur's passive, in case you are not aware, I have been through this a couple of times on the channel, but when Arthur is deployed, it grants all allies 25% chance to reflect any debuffs received back to the caster. When Arthur himself deals reflect damage, he deals an additional 5% of his max HP. So what I've done is I have firstly put him in my slot 1. In slot 1, the unit in slot 1 gets 500% additional HP at the start of battle. And I have also gone with this, enhances the position 1 at the start of battle. Here in position 1, additionally gains 300% max HP. He also swaps with Dahlia. Dahlia gives up to 3000% HP. So by the end of the battle, if you have Arthur's exclusive runes, he should be sitting somewhere about 15,000% HP. No joke. With Arthur's red runes, he gets up to 10,000% additional HP and defense. He also gets the HP increase from Dahlia, which is 3,000, plus then the 500% from the actual buff here, this one. He also, if you have this fully leveled up, he'd probably get about an extra 100%, plus you can, if you really want to, equip the HP spear as well, but I think 10,000% is enough. So you can do 5% of that. 5% of 10,000 is what? 500, something like that. So additional 500% reflect damage every time somebody attacks him. And if Arthur is the last one standing, all of the enemy units will attack and they will take that damage. It is really, really strong. How I say here for the additional buffs and her runes as well. So her rune passive increases the HP of Victoria and Leviathan by 500%. Really, really strong, really powerful. Now I have gone with the Lance, which gives us double ultimates or double attacks effectively, double damage, lowering the attack of enemies as well, or the amount of damage that's done. This doesn't impact how much damage you do with your Reflect, by the way, because Reflect is based on attack. So you don't lose out very much on the Enfeeble trigger, which lowers enemy attack by 30%, 50% and 80% respectively. I've got the Stun Hammer because we just need to survive for as long as possible so that Arthur can build up and build up and build up. And then scales as well, because this team is, like I said, severely lacking a healer. Now, my scales do a lot of healing because they are quite high star level. However, Victoria also heals as well, which is, again, primarily why she's in here. So we'll jump to team 3. It is my Ezreals. Not too much to say about Ezreals. Amaterasu has impressed me recently. The additional shielding that you get also helps against Dooms. It also helps against Mystifiers. So that indirect damage that's going to cause you to die very quickly, Amaterasu also helps against that as long as you're able to get your hits off. Elisha increasing HP and attack every time you get a crit. Karnak increasing, healing back any lost health, and also overhealing your team when you get a crit. You've got Eudora and Wukong as main damage dealers. Wukong building up over the course of a fight. If it is just Wukong left, he is going to do a lot of damage. A lot of damage. And Eudora here, she just does damage right from the start. There's no two ways about it. If you don't have Eudora, you take her off and you use somebody like Elwyn or Katrina or Dorabella, something like that. But Eudora she is really strong. just a heads up. Now, yeah, I did check artifacts with Arthur. But with this one, we do have relics. We have Ocean's Maw because of the 100 relic energy. Now, I could use Sarcophagus, but I only have that at 1 star, so I'm not going to be running that until I get that up to a higher star level. I think the freezing points and the increase in HP is going to be absolutely fantastic, but I haven't got that yet, so I'm not going to run that. I'm instead running Ocean's Maw, which is more than adequate, does a lot of good work. We have Gourd, which is a primary, it effectively boosts us to where we need to be in order to win. And the reason that it does that is because when it triggers for the next 2 rounds, you will double the number of buffs received, which is very powerful when pairing up with Elisha, pairing up with Amaterasu. Amaterasu, even your shields when you apply shields, it does count as a buff being added. So you double the number of shields that you get from Amaterasu, you double the number of crit stacks that you get from Karnak when he attacks. Elisha, double the number of attack and HP stacks. When Wukong swaps with a unit, which he does very frequently, he will double the number of buffs that he has. And Eudora here just for the damage. And then the Demon Bane Whip. This is primarily here for the HP increase, just to get us over that initial hurdle. So when we do trigger our first 2 relics, we do get an increase of 75% HP, which is a really, really powerful effect. Really strong indeed. Now, we'll move on to... Hold on. Sorry, my throat is absolutely killing me. I've got the Ezreal's relic here. Very, very strong. But, again, it is more along the lines of increase our damage, get as much damage in as possible. Now, this team is my Glorian's team. It is what it is. I'm not super impressed with this team so far. I think potentially I could take Wu out. Not Wu. I could take Lily and Leah out and pop Gwyn in instead. But I think I just need that Monarch synergy on that front row to stop stop getting cheesed effectively. So we've got Audrey, who will steal enemy shields when she attacks. She also overheals, so increases her damage even more. You have Lily and Leah to increase the stack limit, attack stack limit, and defense reduction stack limit on the enemies, so it can be very effective, but it's more here for the shielding. So on round 2, you should have already procced your first 2 relics. So Lance gives, or Spear gives shield. You have the shield, which gives even more shield. You have Lily and Leah, who give shield as well. So all around, as soon as Audrey gets any shield on her, she dishes it out to the rest of the team, making it much more difficult for your team to go down, which is why I've set up the team in such a way that Audrey will always receive as much shielding as possible, so she can dish it out to the rest of the team. The only thing that Seraphina needs to do is ultimate once. Just once, and you build up this entire passive here. You don't need to do anything else. Audrey does the 250 million right off the bat. Typically, anyway, the only person who needs anything else is Audrey, and she gets that from her Vital Drain steal anyway. Wu Zetian really impressed me. I think she is the strongest Glorian that we do have available to us. Not only does she steal, but she also provides 75% damage reduction to the entire team. Now you can run, instead of Bahamut, I would suggest running another Monarch, potentially Talinas in this spot, so something like this would do it. But I'm running Bahamut. I do want to test her out. I want to see how well she does and whether or not she's any good. So far, I think she is absolutely fantastic. And the reason that I think that is because she stops enemy Aphrodite doing what enemy Aphrodite wants to do. It's the immobilize or the tremor function that does it. So when she, at the very start of the round, not this one, this one has a 20% chance to apply tremor to enemies at the start of each round. This stops Aphrodite from being able to steal your units, which is why I think she's so good and why I think she's going to be super relevant moving forward. She also does damage equal to her HP every 3 rounds, which is why I had her in this position. But because I've got her at such a low star level, it just wasn't worth it for me to have her in this first position. You can also use the same artifact that I'm running with Arthur as well. But again, it's, for me, just having her in this position, protecting her, helping that immobilize trigger pop off as much as possible is the way forward for me right now. Anyway, I think that when she gets up to 11 stars, 12 stars, then you can start to look at running her in position 1 with that 500% HP increase, because then on rounds 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15, you will get that damage done to all enemies, and it does ignore defense. So just something to keep in mind. Now, finally, got to the relic, the artifact. At the start of a battle, applies stun to all enemies. The reason that I wanted to do that is so we don't die, and so that Seraphina can get her first ultimate off to increase that defense as much as possible, because damage reduction plus defense means that effectively, unless the enemy has a way of stealing your units, you are unkillable. With this team, as long as you are not going up against an enemy Aphrodite, an enemy Hades, or enemy Wu, or an enemy Lancelot, those 4 units, then your team cannot go down, and it's just a matter of time. It's effectively an inevitability, which is why I try and put this off, put off any of my units being stolen, any of my units dying for as long as possible. Now the final team, of course, is going to be Mystifiers. Now you can change out Mulan in this position. You can change Mulan out to or for Astrid, and you get your 3 monarchs. It's just as effective. I think the reason that I'm running Mulan is because of the Striker's synergy with Tsukiyomi, and also the burn effect. Because my guy does have multiple attacks and multiple actions per turn, the burn effect really does stack up. So we've got Dullahan, Talos, the boys, as I like to call them, those 2 in the front. They are just a wall. They do not go down. Even if your back row does go down, these guys just don't want to go down. And it's really actually quite nice to see these 2 old units, but still very runnable, very good units. And a lot of people will already have them. Tsukiyomi has been an absolute powerhouse. The fact that she steals, it's how do I describe it? It's sort of like a secret steal, because what happens is you get all of your attack and your defense stolen. If you're going up against an enemy Tsukiyomi, you get all of your attack and your defense stolen, whereas the enemy then gains it. So it's like you both start at 0, and then Tsukiyomi changes it by 2. So you go into -1, and then your enemies go into +1. So the difference is still 2, which is why I like it, and it scales upwards. So, for example, if you both start out at 100 attack, Tsukiyomi will steal 100 attack from you. She will then dish it out to the rest of the team, so they will all get that 100 attack on them. You will lose that 100 attack, so the difference is now 200 attack, which is why I think she's so powerful, and why effectively you do basically no damage when she is on the field. Again, having monarchs, it kind of seems redundant with Tsukiyomi on the field, so that's why I've added Mulan for the additional closing power and closing speed. The reason that Gaia is on the team do I need to say? But Gaia is probably the strongest unit in the game, in my opinion, for both PvP and PvE. The reason that I think that is because she stacks damage and she stacks damage reduction with corrodes, and also I think the most slept on ability that she has, the reduction in speed. This game is about tempo. Whether you are attacking or defending, you want tempo. When you are attacking, the best way to do that, the best way to set that up, is to have a Gaia on the team so that you will go first. Always, 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 always. It is attacker's advantage. And if you can change the scales up, so when you are defending, if you can switch that round so that you strike first, so effectively you are attacking, then it just means that you gain a major advantage, which is why I think Gaia is the most powerful unit in the game overall. I think Aphrodite is the best PvP unit. I think that it's a toss-up between Dahlia and Elisha for best PvE unit, but best overall unit is Gaia for me, which is why I'm running her on my team 5, because if I get into serious trouble and I get to that 5th team or that 5th match, then I do have this team to fall back on, and it is very, very consistent for me. Now, I have gone for runes. I've just gone for the damage, artifacts. I've just gone for the damage increase or the attack increase of 300% for Mystifiers. I have also gone for, we'll have to do this again. I've gone for Underworld Key for the damage increase. I've gone for for the relic energy increase. I've gone for Plague Bow. And I've gone for Knight's Edge as well. Standard relics, but very, very strong. Now, that is it from me. Those are my teams. I'm going to jump into Master and then jump into Challenger. I'll do another video when I hit Challenger of the 7 teams that I've built after I've done some testing with it. And yeah, I just want to say thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day, and good luck in your World Arena attempts.